Hey, Matthew, who originally contacted me from New Bern, North Carolina, who's now living in Astoria, New York, before heading off to China. This is Matthew from freeprescriptionlenses.com, and I ain't going nowhere. So, with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut prescription computer lenses with Crizal for your frame that you have sent me in this cute little case, wrapped up in this cute little Crizal cloth to protect your RayBan frame. I don't know where you can find another one. I'll be very careful with this one and set it down because I don't know where you're going to find another one like that one. Okay, wait, what is the chance of that? Another Crizal cloth? So, this is it. This is your RayBan. It is model number 8714. Can you read that? Yeah, no, neither can I when I do that. It is the light ray. He ran out of dark and medium ray, so he sent me his light ray frame, and now I'm going to cut prescription lenses for it. And here is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do something a little different. This is a semi-rimless frame, meaning there is nothing at the bottom. Semi from the Latin word, why did you cut half of that off? And so it's just a 20-pound fishing string at the bottom. I'm going to use my handy dandy graph, use my red marking pen. I'm going to have to use so many tools to do this one. And hang on, I'll hold this up to the light, and I'm going to put a dot on that lens and a dot over on the other side of that lens. That just tells me I've got a straight line. Can you see that graph in there? It doesn't matter, I can see it. Let me hang that back up. My gold-plated hook's pretty nice, huh? Pretty nice. My earlier videos I just had a thumbtack and I would knock it off. Now I don't do that. So I'm going to pop your lens out. Come on, lens, come out. Don't you know you're on live TV? They never make you proud when you want. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take this, because I used to trace the entire frame in here, but I can't do that now that there's no lens. So now I need this tool, and I need to put one of these great double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I've got one left. Boy, you caught me on my very last one. That would have been awkward if I ran out. Awkward. So I'm going to put the black side as the sticky side. I'm going to stick that on there, pull the paper away to make that side sticky. Turn the lens around, and then I'm going to, you may not be able to see this, but there's two lines on there, and I'm going to line this up with the line on the back that tells me it's in there straight, and we're good. I'm going to press down so that the sticker is holding it on, put it in the tracing element, and actually hang on, let me number this one. You know, because you're moving all around from New Bern, North Carolina to Astoria, now to China, you're one of our top secret agents. You are now secret agent 3161. Put this on here. I'm going to scan that. Makes a nice sound. And then I'm going to trace your frame. We're going to do just the right side and hit start. It's asking me for the bridge size, which is 18, which is already there. I'm going to hit check mark, and this little stylus is going to pop up, and it's going to go around and trace the outside of your right lens. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame from me or any other frame, and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision lenses. Matthew, you did not buy this frame from me, so I'm charging you $40 for your lenses, and of course you're paying the $40 upgrade to have the Crizal anti-glare. Now, the shape of your lens is about to pop up. That is the magnified version. We take that off of there, hang that back up on the hook, and that is going to be the shape of your lens that we cut. Can you see the green outline? Well, it's okay, I can if you can't. So, let's go ahead and put in your pupillary distance. The computer already starts at 32.5. Now, you emailed me and you told me that your pupillary distance is 66. That is your distance PD. When you read, your eyes actually, not only do they go downward, but they converge together. The near PD would be a completely 63, but this is computer distance, so we're going to add 1 more millimeter, make it 64. So it starts at 32.5. I'm going to hit the minus button until we're at 32. Now let's come down here and prep your lenses. Let me close the name of this so you don't see that Chinese company in the background, even though you're on your way over there. And Matthew, I do appreciate you supporting American businesses and North Carolina businesses at that. So, your right eye reads +1 minus a quarter at 92. Let's see, one of these lenses says +1 minus a quarter. This is your right lens, making this the left lens. So let's turn on the lensometer. Let's zero out, making sure that everything is perfect and where it's supposed to be. That it is. So +1 minus a quarter at 92, +1 minus a quarter at 92. Let's spin the axis wheel of my Marco 101 lensometer until one of my loyal fan clubs buys me a new one. You're stuck with this dusty one. We're going to put the power drum on +1. Take your lens out of the protective sleeve. Pull the lens out. It actually has a little plastic laminate on the front of the lens to protect it during shipping. I am going to take that off and put that on the packet. I'll put it on there when I ship to you. You are going to receive these packets to verify that you are getting the Crizal coating lenses. So let's put this lens in. We're going to rotate it until the sphere power comes in clearly. Find the center of the lens. Check your astigmatism correction, of which you have the smallest amount. And I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. And we're going to label this one R for right. Now your left lens is a +125 sphere. +125 sphere, 0 amount of astigmatism. Kids today, you have the smallest amount in your left eye, your right eye. You have none in your left eye. I'm telling you, you got nothing. Kids today going around with no astigmatism. It wasn't like that when I was a kid. We was like, Mom, can I have more astigmatism? And she said, no, not until you finish your vegetables. Alright, so let's take the protective laminate off the front of this lens, stick it right there, and put the power drum on +1 1/4. Put your lens in. Find, we don't have to rotate it because it is a spherical lens. It's the same power all over. Find the optical center. We're going to put 3 dots on there, although really we only need that center dot, that dot right there. But I'm going to go ahead and darken that one for everyone at home. And I'm going to put an L on there, which stands for not right. Now let's grab your lenses, your sleeves. We're going to come back down here, as we say here in North Carolina. I'm going to put your right lens onto the platform. I'm going to grab 2 blocks, or as I like to call them, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. So I need another double-sided adhesive sticker, of which I'm down to my last 2 of these. Ignore all those others. Those don't work right. These 2 are the best ones. Again, the black side being the sticky side. Although if it wasn't sticky, I would have a very magnetic personality, wouldn't I? So let's put the sticker on this first one. On you go. You see how I do that? Kids, watch how I do this. You see that? I line it up. Hook. Okay, so now there's a little silver button on the back. Don't worry about that. No, that little silver button is a magnet. It's going to do its job 2 times tonight. Let me pull the paper off to make the black side sticky. I'm going to, it's sticky like maple syrup. Blood is thicker than water, but maple syrup is thicker than blood. So pancakes are more important than family. There, I said it. All right, so again, now this little silver button, the magnet, is going to do its job twice. It's going to hold it in place in this arm. I'm going to line your lens up. Let's go ahead and magnify everything. I'm going to get it lined up there, place everything exactly where it is supposed to go. Get those 2 dots lined up, and let me check everything here. We are good, and I'm going to hit this button, and now the block is going to be applied to your right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. This time we only have to use that little center dot that is there, because it really doesn't matter if this lens rotates. The reason why I put those 3 dots on there, it tells me I have a straight meridian, a straight horizon. If it gets tilted, if you had astigmatism, you would not see as well, but because this lens is completely spherical, it could spin around and you would see the same. So it's going to, your pupillary distance is going to mirror the other side. We're going to get that lined up just perfectly in there. Check to make sure the lens is large enough. We're good there. We're going to hit that button, and now the block is applied to your left lens. So this is the actual edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy at least 1, if not 2. Put it on your kitchen counter, then you can cut your own glasses at home. You won't need this guy anymore. So the actual cutting wheel, the diamond coated cutting wheel, is on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material. This wheel is going to flatten out your lens, and underneath here is another little spinning wheel that is going to cut the groove into your lens, so that string will grab the groove of the lens. So let's pull up the shape of your lens onto the computer. These are polycarbonate lenses. I'm not gonna polish it. I am cutting it on the soft cycle. If I wanted to cut it fast, I could leave it on the red star, but I'm going to cut it on the 2 green stars because of the anti-glare coating. And I want to put a bevel onto the front surface, the convex surface of the lens, and I'm going to put a heavier bevel on the back surface, the concave surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. Now, the silver button is going to do its job a second time. It's going to hold it in place into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. That's right, you're getting recycled jokes. You pay me more money, you get fresh jokes. That's how this works. So, what am I doing? Oh, I'm hitting this green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure it's large enough to fit into the frame. It's going to go all the way around, tracing the lens to make sure it's large enough. And then it's going to do it twice, measuring the thickness of the lens to know exactly where to place the bevel, cut the groove halfway into it. We're going to hit the green start button again. The cutting wheel is starting up. In just a moment you will hear a grinding sound. That'll be my teeth because I've eaten too many espresso beans. And then the next grinding sound will be the lens touching down on the cutting wheel. Now if you've noticed, there is light flickering in the background. That is water running. Polycarbonate cuts dry, where plastic and high index plastic cut wet. The water is only there to catch the optical sawdust as it comes off the lens. Now, as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. These are the Essilor brand of lenses. Essilor calls polycarbonate airwear because they're as light as air. These are an aspheric lens. That's what AS stands for. Aspheric simply means not spherical. A spherical lens is round in every direction and gives you an ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance. Aspheric means it's a flatter curvature lens to fit into today's flatter curvature frames. Now, you also have the Crizal anti-glare coating. Crizal, well, let me back up. Polycarbonate, if you've watched my other videos, you've noticed I mentioned that they are 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. Your lens is bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection built into it. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Now that little wheel is going to cut the groove into the lens so it stays inside the 20-pound monofilament fishing line that is there. Now with your Crizal lenses, Crizal is 3 features in one. The first feature is that it's an anti-glare. It eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain. But from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead, fluorescent lights. The second feature, it's a reflection-free lens. You can see how the fluorescents reflect off this uncoated lens, and it greatly cuts it back on this one. The other nice thing being reflection free is that when people look at you, they won't see their reflection in your glasses, or if someone takes a picture with a flash, or if you take a selfie, you won't see the flash lit up in the lens like you would with an uncoated one. Now the third feature that I like is that it takes over 24 hours to literally vaporize 7 different anti-glare coatings on here, and because of the time and expense of that, Crizal puts the best anti-glare coating possible on the lens to protect the time and investment of actually making it. So you have the hardest scratch coating possible. Now it's going to come back down onto the flat wheel just to smooth everything back out. Take off any burrs that might be left over from the cutting cycle. And then in the last 20 seconds of this cycle, water will kick in and begin spraying on the lens to wash away any optical sawdust, swarf as it is known as. There we go, we're in the car wash cycle now. It's going to wash away any optical debris that may be left on the lens, and of course what it doesn't get, I will get myself. So that is it. It is done. Let's take the lens out. Let me grab a paper towel to dry everything off. Press that button to open up the chuck. Thanks, Chuck. And we're going to just do a quick inspection of the lens. And actually, because it is so thin, it did not put a safety bevel on there. So real quickly, and of course I can go ahead and take this block off, not with that tool. Let me move that so I can see. Pop that off. Stick that there. But right now you still have some rough edges left over from the cutting cycle, so I'm going to go, and in my old, this is a tool I used to use on my old edge, I rarely have to use it now, but it's a handstone. I just want to smooth out the back surface and now the front surface. Use my thumbnail to wipe away any of that debris. Get my thumbnail in there to clean all that out. And once it has been removed from your lens and it is all on the counter, I carefully collect it very neatly and precisely into one pile, and then I wipe it on the floor because that never gets old. So okay, so everyone wants to know, how do you mount a lens like this into a frame like this? So you get it lined up where it goes. You actually have another groove on the inside of the frame. And Matthew, if you're ever at a dinner party and this happens to someone else's glasses, you can play MacGyver. All you need is a little piece of ribbon for wrapping presents. Something like this comes off of a package from UPS with a white strap going around it. It's folded in half. Now, I use it to grab the lens, and I start at the outside edge and I move my way towards the nose. And when you hear a snap, it is in there. Now you place this finger on there, this finger, not this one, this one, this one, or that one, but you're going to place this finger on top of the strap and then slide that out, and you're good to go. Now let's go ahead and cut the left lens. We're going to flip this over to L, which again stands for not right. Take this, we're going to tuck that in there into the Chuck, the Chucky baby, the Charlie, and we're going to hit the green arrow. The door is going to close, the clamp is going to shut, and then the lens again is going to be traced by the two white styluses. Going around to make sure the lens is large enough to fit into the frame. And of course measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly where to cut the groove into the lens, and hit start. Now let's go ahead and inspect the right lens. Let's come back here. The axis wheel is still on 92 and the red dot is missing, so I'll just put another one on there. I'm gonna move that up, find the optical center. Now, where's my flashlight? There it is. I couldn't find it. You know, I have a smaller flashlight, I just can't find it. But we're at +1, that is 4 steps. Now the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter. Spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, and goes up in quarter increments from there. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4, and so on. Up to about, how about 20? That's what it goes up to. Let me come back down here to 1. So you need 4 steps of magnification. You are farsighted, but to see up close you need 4 steps of magnification. That is why there's a plus sign. Your lens is magnified. Now you have 1 step of astigmatism correction. Astigmatism is what causes 6s and 8s to look alike, or the letters P and F. So this first number magnifies to make the images the correct size. This takes away the fuzzy edges. Think of it as the fine-tune knob. We're going to turn that knob to 92. If a straight line is 0 to 180 with 90 being in the center, 0 is over here, let's say the point of the pen is at 0, we're going to turn that fine-tune knob just past 90 to about 92. Now, that fine-tune knob could be anywhere from 0 to 180. This is an arbitrary number. These first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This number could be anywhere from 0 to 180, and it really doesn't mean as much. That's what astigmatism is. It needs the fine-tune. Now, if you missed any of this, let me recap. Oh, it's a bad joke, but you'll be telling it tomorrow. So, your left eye, you actually need 5 steps of magnification and no astigmatism correction. So let's check that. +1 minus 1/4. Minus means we're going to subtract, and we are at +75 as your total power. If you had $1 and someone borrowed 25 cents, you would have 75 cents left over. 75 cents in the black. Now if you're left eye, we're going to turn that to 5 steps, which would be plus 1 1/4. And, hang on, let's find where the optical center. Let's put a dot there. Is that good enough? Let me put another one. Let me darken that a little bit. Yeah, that one's darker now. Is your left lens done? Come on, left lens. Semi-realness take a little bit longer. So it's going down onto the roughing wheel. Actually, it's just smoothing everything out. I should have charged you by the hour on this one, Matthew. This one's running a little bit longer. Most videos are under 20 minutes. I estimate this one to be between 22 and 24 minutes. All in a day's work. Alright, so the water has kicked in. This tells me it's on the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. It's going to move up. The 2 white styluses are going to check to make sure that nothing is in the way. And then the door will open. Matthew, how about opening the door for me? Man, that's pretty good. Your first day on the job using telekinesis like that? Okay, so dry the lens off. Pull that off. Of course, I have it always remove those afterwards. Let's come back down here to the handstone. I want to remove any rough edges that may be left over on the back surface of the lens. Now onto the front surface. Use my thumbnail to scrape that away. Am I getting this? I'm getting this. I apologize if I miss any of this in the video, if the camera is not positioned right. I'm a professional licensed optician. I am not a professional cinematographer. And at some points in the video it becomes evident. Alright, I'm going to get another specialized tool. Keep it hidden underneath here. That tool is a toothbrush. Get this wet. This toothbrush has never been in anyone's mouth. I only use it for lenses. As I repeat, it's never been in anyone's mouth. It may have been in a dog and a cat's mouth, but not anyone. A horse, a hippopotamus. That's why the hippopotami in North Carolina have such nice teeth. You out of there? Okay. Let's dry everything off again. I'm missing some stuff. Missing it, alright. Alright, where's my paper towel? Dry everything off. Keeping the red dot on there. Let's take out your original left lens. And of course you will be receiving all the manufacturer's original packaging that you sent to me. So I'm going to tuck that in there. Into that groove. Where's my strap? Here it is. Grab it in half so you have both sides. Again, I start at the outside corner. Not a lot of edge thickness here. It wants to jump off. It's still alive. It's still alive. But not for much longer. Why me? Why me? It was your time. And then, come on, strap, get on there. Get on there. There we go. It is on there. Now again, place this finger on top of the string and then slide that out. Let's come back down here. Put it in over that red dot. Check the power. Oops, I'm banging the camera on stuff. Again, where'd my flashlight go? Here's why I keep leaving it down there. And we're at plus 125. So that is made correctly. The PD, pupillary distance, is 64. So I'm going to hold this card up, place the 0 on my PD stick against my thumb on your right lens. And then when we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 64. So that is made perfectly. I'm going to clean this off. And of course, this is the point in every video that when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could be too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And I am no exception. I'll show you in just a moment. And because of that, that's why 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get this in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. So the 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I center on the counter and press down. A little wobble, so let me straighten that out for you. Press on the counter, press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, When I take mine off and set them down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. For those of you keeping score at home, I'm wearing the RayBan 2132 New Wayfarer in color 6144, which is the silver metallic. Your RayBan, my RayBan. Your RayBan, which one is which? Which one is which? Actually, it's the one I can see out of, so let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. Flip it over, press down, there is no wobble. Make sure that each temple closes perfectly and the same amount of tension on each hinge. And there is. So if anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the contact me button on the website link. So Matthew from New Bern, North Carolina, and temporarily in Astoria, New York, on your way to China. I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut prescription lenses with Crizal anti-glare for your RayBan. This is your POF, which means piece of finely tuned craftsmanship. No, patient's own frame. That's what POF stands for. You have sent me your frame. I have put the lenses in. It is a RayBan 8714, size 55, in 11 color code 1128, which looks like a charcoal, a gunmetal. But hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.